Rise and shine with global entertainment news the morning host. I am your host, Bella, ready to kickstart your day with all the fresh news and stories. And right here with me, bringing her own spark to the studio is Ursula. We'll be taking today's top story from Daily Post and The Nation, and top stories from Daily Post. Flood revived five community in Kogi. Kogi State Emergency Management Agency says flood have completely submerged Ibadan local government area of the state. The executive secretary of the agency, Mokhtar Atimav, made this known on Wednesday, warning community along river bank to immediately relocate to safer ground. He says that the state was no longer safe owing to the rising level of water in river Niger and Benue. According to him, from charts of experts and manager of various dams in the country, excessive water will begin to pour into the river Niger and river Benue from Tuesday night, which will cause an overflow of the river bank. No fewer than 258 communities in 8 local government areas of the state have been marked as flood-prone areas, while 42 internally displaced persons (IDPs) camps have been constructed to take care of those to be displaced, while an emergency operations center has been opened. Already, 5 communities in Ibaji local government area of the state were worst hit, including Ota, Ofebo, Itima, and Owara community in Kogi local government area of the state, he said.
Talking about this flood of the day, it is something we cannot afford. It's something we can't avoid it, and it's unpredictable. It is every year we this casualty of flooding comes in every year, and now that the emergency management has come out that people living beside the water, building house beside the water, they should relocate because the rivers they are full already that they can't even collect water again. So it has to spread out. So I feel they should just do what is needed for them to do if they want their lives to be safe. And well, I will employ the government to just do everything in their possible best just to make everybody in the community and in that state to be safe.
Well, flood at this rainy season time in Nigeria is actually another thing. When we
Mhm.
talking about the expert that needed to look into climate change and all that, there is a whole lot of things that has been taken
Yeah.
for granted, especially building a sustainable dam that can actually divert water into the main, let me say, the river Benue and river Niger. But instead, they were trying to manage resources and then try to live with casualty. Instead, they know that those things is going to come up every year and then it's going to affect those that are living close or far away from the water. So right now I feel like after this rainy season the government really needs to go into a very good dam needed to be built to actually divert water into the very fast place that needed water. So our government really needs to look into this, that this is not just anything that can actually be avoided when it comes to flooding and all that. But at the same time, this is things that needed a very good resources, a
Yeah.
very good dam, and that needed to be preventing every year. Climate change is not something any human can actually avoid it,
Mm-hmm.
but when we prepare ahead of it, it can actually stop some disaster from not
Yeah.
happening. Well, let's move on. Woman set ablaze over alleged child stealing in Delta community. An angry mob on Wednesday set a woman ablaze over her alleged attempt to steal a child in Abajo community, Ugeli North local government area of Delta State. The child, a 7-year-old boy, was also rescued from the hand of the woman. Daily Post learned that the disease supported.
This is so harsh to me. I feel it's harsh. Why taking justice into your hands to the extent that you burnt the woman alive? You could have just taken this woman to the police station, to the nearby police station for her to be detained and investigations should be done. But you setting her blazed alive just because of a child stealing, though a child stealing is not something I support. It's not a good thing. But instead of you taking justice into your hands, you would have gone to a nearby police station and to just report her, let her be detained, and investigation should be carried on.
Well, I would say that jungle justice in Nigeria, even those that actually just steal or something like that, has actually become a very bad thing in Nigeria that we take justice into our hands and then tend to actually put people in
Mm-hmm.
risk of killing people in a very tragic way is very, very unfair. In this point, there have to be people that needed to be taking responsibility for it. Whatever you think that you are doing as a jungle justice, you also have to also face the consequences of the government of you being hanging or whatever, being put in prison forever for actually taking another person's life. Taking another person's life is against the law, so you don't have to do it, no matter the crime that the person is being
As
done.
committed,
Let me
yeah,
say the person is guilty until it's proven so that this
guilty.
person is guilty of what he has done. So you can't just say because a boy raises the alarm and then says he doesn't know this person, then take the person to the police station, then let's confide on whatever that is happening before you they can actually say that this is actually a stealing
Mm-hmm.
process and all that. But instead, we are always good at jungle justice. Well, let's move on. KB, police arrest fake ASP accomplice over smuggling mercury. Kebbi State Police Command has arrested two suspects for alleged criminal conspiracy impersonating an unlawful possession of prohibited substance along the Nigeria-Benin Republic border. The State Commissioner of Police Bello M. Sani disclosed this while parading the suspects on Wednesday, noting that the arrest followed the heightened security operation in border community. One of the suspects, identified as Yusuf M. Alhaji from Kano State, was apprehended on Wednesday, 21st, 2025, by the Divisional Police Officer of Dule Keina in Dandi local government area. Yusuf, who alleged possessed as a police subtabulary officer with the rank of Assistant Superintendent of Police, attacked to Rijia Zaki Division in Kano, was intercepted while attempting to cross the border.
This is my kudos to the police for arresting the fake ASP, and this is one of the things the youth are engaged in now, just trying to find a means for themselves, trying to get money and all. But when they say something is bad, it is bad. Is it when things get out of hand before we are being cautious of what we do? Like, well, kudos to the police. I think with more of this, I feel that it will stop gradually. I pray so. I hope so for it to stop.
Well, we are talking about the fake ESP of trying to actually smoke and compliances with a substance, mercury. Mercury is actually a very hard substance to find in Nigeria when it comes to that, and then it's being used for different type of chemical purpose and all that. Let me just try to think about how this person actually get this substance within itself to the point that it's going to cross the border to Benin Republic, and it's really a suspectful one. Not just giving them. I feel like the Nigerian police did not actually do enough. If you arrest someone of a substance that is actually very harm, let me just say, very very scarce in a place that is not supposed to be found. This person is not have to be parading around that. Oh, we caught this person of these substances, so this is what we have been doing. This is what we have caught, and then this person needed to be paraded. No, it doesn't have to work like that. The first thing that this needed to be doing is to a very good interrogation of how this person got this ASP uniform and also how this person actually get this substance within itself. But we do everything that we wanted to do. We think that that is how we have to deal with the laws. If this person is being caused of a substance and then the next thing you wanted to parade the person, it's really, really a bad way of dealing with the law. Well, let's move on to the top story from the nation. Lagos blame illegal structure. for Lekki flooding. The Lagos state government has attributed Tuesday flooding in Lekki to infrastructure such as illegal construction and indiscriminate disposal of waste. Commissioner for Environment Tokunbo Wahab gave the explanation in a statement on his X account where he sympathized with affected residents. The National has reported how flood occasioned by the downpour in the early hour of the day took over the road, people, houses, and stores. The flood, which saw vehicles enmeshed in water, grounded people and vehicle movement for over 7 hours in Victoria Island, Lekki, Aja, and Hebron. Many residents returned from work could not get to their destination until past 10 p.m., while some others were on the road till past midnight. A lot of the affected residents who took to social media to lament the situation, calling on the state government to take steps to address the issue.
Well, we've talked about um flooding already, but I feel you blaming the illegal constructions and waste indiscriminate waste disposal, though they are part of it. But at the same time, if they are actually doing their work, this can actually be prevented. Why people building houses beside the river should not do that. They should know that every year flooding comes in. Every year flooding comes in. There is a lot of flood every year that why will you be building houses beside river? You should know that okay, this you know every year rain falls and there is flood. But you building houses beside river, you are trying to bring more arms to your side. Okay, talking about the people that their houses are not even beside the river, they are still struggling. Not to talk of you building houses beside the river. Now they are now blaming it on illegal construction and indiscriminate waste disposal.
Well, talking about the illegal construction, it's part of what is actually affecting the Lagos state. The the Lagos state is not a river, but an ocean that is very part of the Atlantic Ocean. So that is why they have this ship and all that that is actually working as a port there. So Lagos Ocean is part of the Atlantic Ocean. Lagos is very surrounded with water, and then I was expecting that due to greediness of the government actually make that Lagos have to have overpopulation because they
Mhm.
only wanted to develop the port side in Lagos and then trying to make more money from it. Imagine the Apapa port station has already been destabilized, and then they are now moving the new port to Epe side, and that is still another damage to make the water level in Lagos to keep on rising. That is what is affecting Lagos right now. The water level in Lagos is becoming rising over and over again. The more building that is keep on constructing, the more the water keep on
Mhm.
rising. When they keep on sand filling a particular site just because they wanted to lay a foundation of a company or of a house, the water level is going to keep on rising. Now it's affecting those that are not even that are not even close to the waters, but it's now becoming a very serious thing. If the population in Lagos needed to be reduced and then the building that needs to be bring it down to allow the level to go back to its normal state, then there's going to be a very peaceful environment. But if not, and then they keep on building and building, it's going to get to a point that the entire Atlantic Ocean is going to swallow Lagos, and
Yeah.
then there's no going to be any existence of Lagos State. But right now, the Wahab needed to do something in time to actually reduce the population in Lagos State and reduce construction of
Of houses
houses
in
to
Lagos.
make sure that people can live in peace. Well, let's move on. Gunmen on 50 bike kill woman, kidnap six in Kwara community. Gunmen suspected to be bandits in the early morning of yesterday invaded Motokun village, Batigi local government area of Kwara State. The invader came on 50 bike and attacked the villager around 6 a.m. The operation, it was gathered, lasted for 4 hours. The police commissioner Adekemi Ojo confirmed the incident to our correspondent. Mr. Ojo says Matokun village was attacked by bandits On about 50 motorcycles, 6 people missing, suspected to have been kidnapped. A woman suspected to have sustained gunshot injury died later. Also, Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak and his Sokoto State counterpart, Mr. Ahmed Aliu, renewed their commitment to stamping out bandits. Abdulrazak stated in this in Ilore at the strategy and consultation with key stakeholders of Kwara South convened by the Kwara South Development Initiative. The governor, who was represented by his deputy chief of staff, Princess Olubukola Babalola, says security is a collective responsibility and that the people's support for the security agency was vital to wiping out the menace. He urged them to be vigilant to enable them to thwart the criminal.
Yeah, this is so sad hearing about keeping we keep on hearing about bandits kidnapping, this and that. It is so sad now that we can't even walk peacefully around the neighbors. We can't walk peacefully in our community. We'll be scared of. We'll be looking at our left, we'll be looking at our right. That how we say it's so sad. Princess Olubukola Bola saying that we should put hand in hand together with the security. How does the security want to fight without the basic necessity, without the basic training they needed, without the the possible equipment, the instruments, the arms they will use to fight? They just go and face because these people were prepared. These bandits coming into Kwara were prepared with 50 bike. They were really prepared for them to come with 50 bike, kidnapping at least 6 of them and killing one woman. They were prepared. This is so sad. The government needs to look about this because we've been hearing news of kidnapping over and over again for the past 1 month in Kwara State, and nothing till up till now, and nothing has been done for to the extent that the NYSC orientation camp that was in, I think, Umara or Offa was moved down to Kwara due to the insecurity that was there. It is so bad.
Well, the tragic that we are actually facing in Nigeria right now, that area is the extent that it has gotten to. Well, like we always wanted to think that the government have the better thoughts of Nigeria as hard not to just jump into conclusion that the government have actually forgotten about us, but still you are still going to say they should do something about this insecurity. It is not just the Kwara part that we are talking about, but the entire northern part of Nigeria is facing the tragic of insecurity, bandit territory, and all that. So let the government try to do something about it.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us on the Breakfast Show. I have been your host, Bella. I hope you enjoyed today's program. Be sure to like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, have a blessed and lovely day. Bye.